It's Labor Day and we're not supposed to be working, but there's too much to do. Ever since the CDC changed their policies on August the 27th in regards to testing and masking, it's been a rat race. Cruise lines have changed their policies as a result, and they've shared that news with us cruisers, us islanders. We're all trying to keep up with what do I have to do in order to cruise. That's all we care about. But every single day we see cruise line after cruise line change their policies and their protocols to match what the CDC announced August the 27th. You try to go everywhere and find the details and you can't. You've come to the right place. We are going to give you all the details from all the cruise lines selling from U.S. ports right here in this video. If you're wondering how cruise lines compare with protocols and policies, you're in the right place. If you wonder what your policies are for cruising, you are in the right place. Let's get started with all the news right now on Island Time. Happy Labor Day to all you islanders. I hope you're not working today. We're working because there's so much to go over, but I hope you're having a great day with friends and family. This is Island Time, and I am Derek, your host. We're about to break down all the latest news for you. We've got everything that you need to know regarding masking and testing for cruise lines. I want to show you this really quick. This is from the CDC website, and it explains everything that's going on right now. The CDC announced a change August the 27th that changed basically protocols for cruise lines for masking and testing. I want you to notice just a few words here. I'll put this up here so you can see it. August the 27th, the first paragraph on this website deals with masking. And I want you to see the first sentence here. Added language advising cruise ship operators to voluntarily reconsider the following mask policies. We've already talked about the mask policies in previous videos, okay? Some of them deal with crew and should crew wear masks in their crew areas. Some of them actually deal with passengers in passenger areas as well. We have seen that cruise lines before this date enacted policies. We'll tell you about that here in just a little bit. But I want you to notice the word voluntarily reconsider. The masking news from August the 27th from the CDC is voluntary. Cruise lines were already doing most of these policies anyway. Carnival started August the 7th, okay? Their masking policies started August the 7th. Their testing policies started August the 14th. So cruise lines were ahead of the game. Look at the next paragraph right here. This next paragraph has to do with testing. You will see in the first sentence revised screening, testing, and documentation requirements for fully vaccinated passengers and those who are not fully vaccinated. See that word requirements? That's why we're in the situation that we're in. That's why we've had to move from a 3-day testing requirement to a 2-day testing requirement. It's because of that. It is a requirement. That's why the cruise lines are doing this, okay? And look at that last paragraph. I'll show it to you there. These recommendations and requirements and the conditional sail order is for all ships that are sailing from every state except Florida. All those cruise lines can voluntarily abide by the CSO even if they are in Florida, okay? So I wanted to show that to you as well, okay? Let's get started here. We've got a lot of information. I want to invite you now, if you are not an islander and you have not subscribed to this channel, we would love to have you. We go over cruise news almost daily, live sessions, tips and tricks, questions. We answer everything. We are almost to 3,000 subscribers in 3 months, and that is a huge blessing to me. I invite you now, if you have not subscribed, YouTube always tells us, ask them to subscribe. Please do so. It would mean the world to us. Let's get into the news. Everyone is in unison on testing, and that's because it's a requirement. It is not a recommendation. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, August the 27th, said you got to test 2 days before. And so that's what everyone has started to do. Let's look at each individual cruise line. There's no change for Norwegian Cruise Line because of this announcement of testing, because Norwegian already tests every single passenger at the terminal. That's right. Norwegian and Disney Cruise Line already does that. This announcement does nothing for them. But for Carnival, Celebrity, Holland America, MSC, Royal Caribbean, all those cruise lines who have departures leaving after September the 13th, which date was referenced by the CDC, they will require passengers to be tested no more than 2 days in advance. Not 3, but 2 days. For Princess, that requirement is going to go into effect September the 19th. Accepted tests can either be antigen test or PCR test. Some at-home tests, self-kits can be used, but remember you have to have the telemed visit. Someone has to actually see you, self-administer your test. You send that result off. You're not going to get it back within 2 days, I don't think. So that's not going to be the best option. Testing has been so tough for cruise lines, and it's tough for passengers. When we had 3 days, it was tough. People worried. You had all this money invested and time invested. You packed. There were a lot of islanders and cruisers who would leave to start their journey to get to their cruise, whether it was via vehicle or travel via airplane, and they would take their test on their way, and they would hope they would be negative. And that was 3 days before. Now it's 2 days before. We know there's added anxiety. We shared a video Saturday that talked about your options with Walgreens and CVS, which used to be great options, and now they're kind of spotty. If you're flying, you can get a test at many of the airports, especially the hubs across the country, but it costs you a pretty penny. It's tough. It really is. And if we can help you find a test, we will help you find a test. But if we can just get the test and it says negative or not detected, and we bring that, we can get on the ship. All of us just need to get to the ship, get on the ship. That's what we're looking to do, okay? So it's been cut from 3 days to 2 days, but we can do it. Remember, unvaccinated passengers, you still need a PCR test within 2 days. It's tough. You probably remember that cruise lines had already set their own masking recommendations and requirements before the CDC came out August the 27th. For example, Carnival on August the 7th said that now guests are required to wear face masks indoors in places such as elevators, shops, casinos, and when waiting to get into a show. Many of you islanders have been on a Carnival cruise since August the 7th, and you've said it's really not a bad thing, that it's temporary, it's for a short amount of time, and that you don't have to wear these masks for longer than just a few minutes. For example, if you need to go up or down levels of the ship, you can take an elevator, which you have to put your mask on, okay, to go in between those floors, or you can take the stairs, which you don't have to have a mask. So for some examples, some situations, you can get out of having to wear a mask. There are some ships who are requiring more than just these public places where there's other people. The Carnival Magic, for example, is going through some COVID cases among crew, and they've asked for all passengers to wear a mask indoors if you're not eating or drinking. Okay, so some ships do vary, but for the most part, it is in public areas only. Norwegian Cruise Line, they're not requiring masks because they are 100% vaccinated and they're tested at the terminal before embarkation. Norwegian has not required masks at all. So if you don't like masks, if you don't want to wear a mask, you need to cruise Norwegian, okay? Now that could change at any time. We know that. These protocols change all the time. But really, we have seen people who used to book a cruise based on the ship, based on the itinerary, based on what's included on board. Now people are looking literally at protocols, masking and testing protocols to see what ship or company, even though they maybe never have cruised with that cruise line before, we're seeing it right now take place in this great cruise restart. Princess Cruise Line, the brand, strongly encourages guests to wear face masks when indoors and required to wear face masks in elevators and other designed indoor entertainment venues when you're waiting, and sometimes during the show. Retail shops, casino, just about the same as Carnival Cruise Line or Royal Caribbean as well. Celebrity, of course, the Edge left June the 28th, the first ship to leave. Celebrity's face mask policy varies per region. For the United States, face masks are not required for vaccinated guests with Celebrity, but you will see passengers on Celebrity wear face masks voluntarily, just like you do on other cruise lines. And sometimes even before Carnival came out August 7th and said that you have to wear face masks. We went in July and people were wearing face masks, okay? And some of them it was in elevators and in shops, in places that they thought they needed to wear one. So we're seeing the same thing across almost every single cruise line when it comes to masking. These are the current protocols, and it's the current reality and the hoops that we have to jump over and get through in order to get to the cruise ship. We can do it. It is frustrating, especially when things change and literally you have no time to adjust to them, but we can do it. That is the cruise news for today. We can't wait for this week ahead. We will have all the news for you. You know that. We're so thankful that you're subscribers, that you're islanders, and we hope that you have a cruise booked so soon. Keep jumping through the hurdles, keep checking the boxes, because it is worth it. Once you step foot on that ship and you've done all this stuff that you have to do, it's absolutely worth it. And remember, capacity levels are down. Carnival has even brought theirs down into the 60%. I saw the Magic was a little over 50% for this sailing. It is totally worth it. Have a great Labor Day, and we'll see you this week right here on Island Time.